Hey everybody, welcome back to Isolation. We're at episode 21 and it's the first week of summer. I'm really stoked. We're out here riding bikes, building trails, and doing whatever I can to stay busy during these times. I'm back out in Cumberland, BC today, and we're gonna kick off episode 21 with a ride. I love it up here. I'm nice and high up. It's like really nice loamy dirt and mossy. It's so sick up here. This is a new trail called Chunderbox. I rode through it once last week and I was pretty impressed with how gnarly it is. It has a few drops and like bigger lines than most of the network out here. It's gonna be pretty like nuts on the Hawk Hill because I only have 120 mil travel in the rear, so I can't wait to get my 29er Alpine Trail built up and take it back up here, but this will be fun. This is my first time bombing down the trail from top to bottom. And then we're gonna go into digging. And I wanna let you know before we get too far into the episode that I decided to go with the stump gap. I was unsure what I was gonna go with. I was getting really frustrated last dig session. And we came back in there, kind of reevaluated, sourced some more wood. And yeah, it's gonna be a big project. It's gonna be a lot of work and it's not gonna happen as fast as I expected, but we're gonna make it go. Let's get into some riding first and then we'll go back to building. All right, let's get it. Whoa. To a drop. Wow, this trail's so sick. Yeah. Wow, that's so fun. Woo! I don't think I could be more stoked right now. I'm just buzzing. That trail's so good. There was even like a couple new jumps since I last rolled through, or at least lines I don't remember. So I pretty much hit that whole thing top to bottom blind, and wow, that was wild. It flows so well. It was kind of just like a shot in the dark, and it worked. Can't wait to get a few more laps on that, get it a little quicker in a few spots, and really start to figure that trail out, because it's a good one. That's amazing. Okay, let's go build some jumps now. We're back out here at the trail today. Jared's doing some cuts right now. I just finished a few, and we're chopping up as many rounds as we can to really fill in the slip, because I decided I'm gonna continue on and carry on with the stump gap. Too many of you wanted to see it happen for me to give up on it, so it's gonna happen, and we're gonna move along as quickly as we can with this, try to get it done. Today the goal is just to get all the rounds in here and start shaping up a lip. I only have like 50% battery on one GoPro left though, and I forgot my power bank, so I have no idea how much of this you'll be able to see today, but let's get the first time lapse running anyways and commence the building. All right, let's go. Well, I feel like with enough patience, persistence, and hard work, it's gonna go. This thing is looking great. It's finally getting there. I did quite a bit in the last day here. And yeah, let's go do a walkthrough of what it's looking like so far. Okay, from the top. We're looking at about 2 days or so of work to really get the run in dialed and the lip, I'm thinking. So the first thing I gotta do is get this giant boulder covered up. My attempt to like dig it out of the ground became a huge task when I realized this thing is super deep and wide and way too heavy to even roll out if I can even dig out around it fully. So I'm just gonna raise the whole ground here, cover it up, and then I wanna make the berm even longer into the big stump gap lip, because I want an even more gradual curve than what's here now. So I'm gonna lengthen it. I'm gonna have it start back here instead of where it is currently. And then if you look at the case pad, or not the case pad, but like the top deck of this berm, it's so fat and long. So I can literally cut this in half, build up the berm taller and a bit thinner than it is now. That's gonna make it have like a more outside cut to it, and I can make it taller. And then the tricky part's gonna be getting it higher in here, because it's already kind of like cliffed out a bit. So I'm gonna have to get some more rounds, stack up the base of that, cover that in dirt, make the whole thing taller. So like, I imagine the berm being like up here eventually, and then this will all blend in way nicer. You'll have like a way more smooth, natural transition than what's even here now. But man, like even like a couple hours of throwing dirt today, and the form is really starting to take shape, and it's making a lot more sense in my mind. I can see the flow already, and it's gonna flow way better than it would have if I just like put in some wooden curves and slatted it up. So that's amazing. Really excited for that. And that is honestly like why I love working with dirt so much. There's so much room for error, and you can like really mold tiny little shapes and curves to everything to make it work and flow. Like if you look at the very first thing on this trail I built, that weird little deep like poppy shark fin lip step down, that thing was like kind of strange and odd, but like the fact that I was able to like mold the dirt into like a kind of like my own unique shape and make it work was really amazing. And there's no way I could have done something like that out of wood. It would have been way too confusing for me, and I couldn't have made it flow so well. So that's why I love dirt so much. That's why I went with the rounds instead of the wooden curve. And here's what's got to happen on this takeoff. So we topped the very top of it here. This is about 7.5 feet tall now, and I'm just like smashing bugs off my arm. Yeah, so it's about 7.5 feet tall, and that's pretty nice. It might even be like taller than it needs to, because if you look at this, like with the top of the curve being here, I mean, you're pretty high off the ground, but I think clearing the top of that stump is totally manageable from this point up when you have a nice steep, like boosty takeoff. It's just like this whole dead space in here. I'm really gonna have to fill this in well. So next session, I'm gonna have to get a few more trees. That dead tree right there has to go. That's gonna give me like maybe like 5 decent rounds or so, but I honestly need like 20 more good rounds to make a nice big triangle from like the base of the dirt here up and get it to the very top. Today was great because I was able to do like a nice layer of dirt, give everything a nice solid base, pack it down so it has like a really good foundation and get the shapes worked in. So that's awesome. I'm really excited. I can visualize how this lip is coming together. And then once I get the run-in like completely figured out and I get the lip completely figured out, take some run-ins, and I know it's gonna feel nice, then I can decide where the landing needs to go, because this landing is gonna need to be pretty massive. I'm thinking like I'll dig some or I'll cut up some like 10-foot long posts, dig them 2 feet in the ground so they're 8 feet up, cross brace them, make them about 10 to 12 feet wide. So I got a nice big landing zone here. It'll make this more trickable, because ideally, like, how sick would it be to do a trick over top of the stump, not just like straight air and struggle to get over. I want like some room for error. I want to be able to play around on this thing. So we really got to make this landing really sick. And that's going to be a lot of work too, because there's a lot of wood that's involved, not just the frame of it. Like the frame's going to be the easy part. Like boxing in like an 8-foot tall structure that's nice and wide isn't going to be hard. The hard part's going to be finding enough rounds to really like roll down the whole thing and then put a dirt layer on top. So that's going to be a lot of time. We're looking at a lot of work here, and it's going to be a bit before this is being hit, but I can't wait. I'm just going to be patient. With enough patience and hard work, this is going to come together. It's going to be so sick, and then the trail is going to continue on this way after with a few more rad features. So that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you watching. And if you want to be featured at the end of any of my videos, then go to the link in the description here, join that group folder, sign up for it, then upload your content so I can download it and put you at the end of my next episode. All right, thanks again, guys. See you in the next one.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Team Garski. Today we're going to be doing Lover's Leap downhill. Let's hit it.